Get ready for the dictation. Start. Mr. Chairman, I have listened to the speeches of the honorable members and I am grateful to them for the various suggestions which they have made. I agree that the rise in prices is an issue on which we should have a decision irrespective of party considerations because it affects every one of us and we should try to evolve a policy by means of which we may be in a position to overcome the crisis. So far as the trend of prices is concerned, nobody in the government has said either on the floor of the house or outside that it is within our control. We have otherwise admitted that the situation is disturbing. The power is how to tackle the situation and what can do both in the short term and in the long term. So far as the short term arrangement is concerned, we have discussed in great detail either in the form of questions or in the form of various other motions the steps that are already being taken. But if we look at the trend over a period of 4 or 5 years, we will find that it is fluctuating depending upon certain policies and decisions taken by the government. We have to see what we can do immediately and in the long run. So far as the short term policy is concerned, somebody asked why we were again and again emphasizing the public distribution system. I may say that it is because that is the only answer to meet a situation like this. The leader of the opposition quoted from the budget speech of the West Bengal finance minister. There is the same emphasis, though there may be some difference in the items here and there. So, it is necessary to improve the public distribution system and see that the essential commodities are made available to the large sections of the community through organized retail outlets and at reasonable price. There too comes the question of management of supply and distribution. Take for instance sugar. It is to be distributed by the food corporation. Certain state governments have their own arrangements, but mainly these are states where there are the sugar mills which produce sugar. So they have their own arrangements. But for the non-sugar producing areas, the entire distribution arrangement was left to the Food Corporation of India. When the dual pricing system with regard to sugar was given up, naturally they disbanded their operational machinery and it took some time. When it was reintroduced, I may tell the honorable members how it has improved. As a matter of fact, in the months of January and February, we were not in the position to dispatch whatever was allocated to the states, and we used to receive complaints from the Minister of Civil Supplies of the affected states. But I may inform the House that from March onwards, the position has improved a little bit. I am not saying that it has improved much, but it has improved to some extent. I have checked up with the ministers in charge of civil supplies of the various state governments that the supply position is slightly improving. Every day 6 to 7,000 tons of sugar is being transported to various consuming states so far as edible oil is concerned. Every day about 1,000 tons of edible oil is being imported. When a situation like this is created, it takes some time to build up the infrastructure. For instance, I may cite one thing. When we imported edible oil, the state governments had to make certain efforts to see that the consumer got used to these particular items, and naturally it took some time. In the period in between, when the substitute is not readily accepted by the people, there is a gap because it is the question of demand and supply. Whatever is needed and whatever is available, we are trying to bridge the gap between the two by importing. I want to make clear one thing so far as sugar is concerned. I am mentioning specially that there is no scheme to export sugar so far as the current year is concerned. It is known to the honorable members that India is a sugar exporting country. It has certain commitments as the contracting party of the International Sugar Organization, and we are trying to see to what extent we can meet our commitments and whether there is a way out. But so far as the physical export is concerned, we have to export a very little quantum to meet our commitment. So far as the formula of export or perish is concerned, I want to say that today we are in a situation when we are not to adhere to it strictly. At one particular time, we had to export our raw materials and our food grains in order to earn some foreign exchange to meet certain essential import items. Between what we are require and what we have, there is a gap. Thank you very much.